Hi, Rich Carrubba for bowlingball.com. I want to talk to you today about our new article feature. We're starting a series. We're calling it bowlingball.com BowlVersity Q A, questions and answers. Our BowlVersity section has probably 500 different articles ranging from instructional nature to product articles to editorials, pro shop features, and including articles from the U.S. Bowler Magazine as example. So we have a wide variety of different articles, and we thought because we allow our community visitors to place comments under a given article, whether they're questions or their experiences or share information with other people who visit our website, then we also felt like we should take some of those questions and answer them for everyone to read. So I've done that. This is our first in a series of BowlVersity Q A articles, and so you should probably read the article itself so you can get all the in-depth information in the answers and so on. But what I'm going to do is just highlight the 4 questions and briefly answer as simply as I can the questions that put forth that we selected for this article. There are 4 of them. And then, of course, next month we'll have another article for you, and if you're interested, you can keep track of what some of the readers in our community comment on and what their questions are. Okay, let's get started. First, why do I lose my balance when I'm releasing my bowling ball? That was the first question we received. And our response was, most bowlers lose balance because of 3 key reasons. Hurrying your footwork. And remember, hurrying the last 2 steps can really be something that can cause you to throw an errant delivery. So we recommend you never hurry your last 2 steps, which includes your sliding step, of course. And poor posture, where your upper body is out of position to make consistent releases over and over. So we try to recommend that you keep your upper body directly up over your legs and knees. You don't tilt forward more than 10 or 15 degrees, and you don't tilt sideways, particularly dropping your bowling shoulder excessively. So when you get to the foul line, try to stay as motionless as possible as well. You know, your head is a good thing to keep as steady as possible while you're walking to the foul line, regardless if you're a power player or you're a stroker or in-between player, no matter. So we hope some of those tips help you. The other thing is keep that balance leg on the floor. Your balance leg is the leg opposite your sliding foot. And as you get in, as you're swinging the ball, and as the step before your slide is completed, allow that balance leg to slide to the opposite side of your bowling arm, and make that bowling shoe stay on the floor. And that'll be a counterbalance measure for the heavy ball swinging through and releasing on the opposite side of your body. So those 3 things are typically what we recommend. However, if you have any questions, see your own certified bowling instructor or a local bowling professional and have them watch you bowl. We always recommend that. Next, why do I miss my spot on the lane to the left so often? Well, we feel for right-handed bowlers, as example, or most of them are right-eye dominant, and you're going to see your target to the left anyway. You'll think you're hitting the 10 board, as example. The center of your bowling ball is probably hitting 11 or 12. And for myself, it's 2 inches, but other bowlers vary, have a little better sight or different eyesight. And that's something you want to get with your coach and have him watch you roll the ball, and the bottom of the ball covers a board up at the bowling arrows, and you tell him what you see, he'll tell you what you see, and you should factor that into your sighting alignment. And then, of course, bowlers who don't slide in the right place on the approach for an arbitrary target they've selected will make you miss your target. Most bowlers, believe it or not, if you're a right-handed bowler, you slide too far left from where you're supposed to play the lane based on your amount of power in your game. It's surprising how many bowlers who throw the ball up the boards slide further left than they need to, more like the power players do. And of course they get this false arc around the lane toward their target, and they're going to miss their target to the left because it's very difficult to hit your target. If they actually did hit their target, they'd probably miss the bowling pocket to the right. And the opposite effect would be true for left-handed players. Okay? Next, we had a question, what is the best ball speed to deliver my ball for strikes? And we think from all the research we've done from the manufacturers, from the pro bowlers, if the ball can impact the pins at 16.5, 17 miles an hour, that would mean that you release the ball somewhere around 20 to 21 miles an hour. Let's say 19 to 22 in that range. If that's your launch velocity, then the ball's going to lose speed as it goes down the lane. And if it impacts the pins around 17, then you're staying right in the same mode of ball speed the pros use. And the pros are pretty slick. They understand the balls are manufactured to be delivered at that speed range, so they have optimum skid control and optimum back end action from the break point to the pocket. If you deliver a ball slower than it was designed to be delivered, then you might have your ball break sooner than it needs to. And the same is true if you throw it too hard, it might slide beyond the break point and not be effective as well. So you want to try to stay in that ball speed range. You want, again, get with your instructor or somewhere where you can watch your velocity. Usually the automatic scorekeepers only give you a readout measured somewhere near the pins, and not all the way through to get an average velocity. 2.5 seconds of elapsed time from release to impact at the pins usually means your ball's hitting at 16 or 17 miles an hour when it impacts the pocket. So that might be another way with a clock watch. It's not a perfect science, but it'll give you an idea of your speed range. Hope that helps. And our final question was, what does the term RG I hear so frequently refer to and mean? Radius of gyration. Now the USBC defines it as a measurement in inches, which is the distance from the axis of rotation at which the total mass of a body might be concentrated without changing its moment of inertia. That's a little confusing to me. I'm not a scientist, so I try to, we describe it at bowlingball.com as a measurement usually ranges between 2.46 inches to 2.8 inches is our relative range. And these numbers describe the distribution of mass inside a given bowling ball, and the RG, the radius of gyration, is an account of the location of that mass inside the given bowling ball. So a high RG ball would indicate that the mass is distributed more toward the cover. It would be a cover-heavy ball, which promotes length through the front end of the lane. And a low RG ball tends to rev up quickly because it's a center-heavy ball, a core-heavy ball, and that's good in heavy oil. For example, it promotes an earlier roll on the front part of the lane to fight heavier oil. And medium RG would be just what you think. The weight is distributed evenly, so the ball will slide on the front end of the lane, transition nice in the middle lane, and then, of course, from the break point to the pocket, it should have enough energy stored to give you a controllable arc pattern to the pocket. Now, RG range measurements, we've placed, bowlingball.com placed, in 3 categories, and we use that information when we write our bowling ball articles. So if you read an article about a new ball you're interested in, look at the RG and the differential, and you'll see the ranges that we tell you about them, so you can see if it's low, high, medium, whatever. We use a 2.46 to 2.57 inches, for example, as low RG range. And for mid RG, 2.570 to 2.68 inches. And for high RG, anything over 2.680, usually up to 2.80 inches is the specifications that we assign for a high RG bowling ball. We want to thank all the bowlers that shared comments over the years at bowlingball.com. We only have time for a couple of articles, a couple questions and answers like this each month. But take a look for our part 2 in this series starting next month, and you'll hear some more questions and answers that our bowlers like you posed. And if you want to place your comments in there, we welcome them. Just go ahead and add your comments below this article, and anything you can share to further illuminate our answers, we're find that most welcome. Our objective is to get as much information that's useful to all of you bowlers in our community. Thank you.